This is Max and Mia podcast.
Hello, everyone. I'm Max.
And I'm Mia. Good to see you here.
Thanks for joining us today.
We really appreciate it. So, today's episode is going to be quite interesting.
Yeah, I think you'll learn a lot from this one.
Before we start, if you're enjoying our content, please give us a like and subscribe.
It really helps us grow and reach more people.
All right, shall we begin?
Let's go. So, Mia, let me ask you something. And this goes for everyone listening too. Have you ever had one of those absolutely crazy days at the office?
Oh my God, yes, where everything that could go wrong does go wrong.
Exactly. I mean, who hasn't experienced that, right? The printer breaks down, your boss needs something urgently, emails piling up everywhere.
And then the coffee machine stops working right when you need it most.
The worst. So today, we're going to listen to a conversation about exactly that, a chaotic day at the office.
And here's the thing. You're going to pick up tons of useful vocabulary from this. Words and phrases you can actually use in real situations.
Right. And pay close attention because we've also included some grammar patterns that'll come up naturally in the conversation.
The best part? This isn't just office vocabulary. You can use these expressions in any stressful or hectic situation. At home, at school, anywhere really.
Exactly. So keep your ears open and let's dive into this chaotic office day.
Tom, have you seen the quarterly report? I can't find it anywhere.
The quarterly report? Didn't you send it to me yesterday? I thought I saved it on the shared drive.
I did send it to you, but now it's not showing up. I've checked the drive 3 times already and nothing.
That's strange. Let me look for it on my computer. When do you need it?
In about 20 minutes. Mr. Harrison wants to review it before the meeting with the investors.
20 minutes? Sarah, that's not much time. Okay, stay calm. I'm searching through my emails right now.
I am calm. Well, trying to be. It's just that everything is going wrong today. First, the printer jammed when I needed to print the contracts. Then, Jessica called in sick, so I have to handle her tasks too.
I heard about Jessica. That's rough. Did you manage to fix the printer?
Sort of. I called IT support and they helped me clear the paper jam, but it took forever. Then I realized I'd sent the contracts to the wrong printer on the 3rd floor.
Oh no. Did you go get them?
Yes, I ran upstairs, but someone had already taken them by mistake. Can you believe it? I had to print them all over again.
What a nightmare. Okay, I found something. There's an email from you with an attachment, but the file won't open. It says it's corrupted.
Corrupted? How is that even possible? I opened it before sending it to you.
Sometimes files get corrupted during transfer. Do you have the original version on your laptop?
Let me check. Hold on. Yes, here it is. Thank goodness. Should I email it to you again or just put it on a USB drive?
USB would be faster. We don't have time to risk another email issue. My office is right next door anyway.
Good idea. I'll bring it to you right now. Oh, wait. Where did I put my USB drive?
You're kidding me.
I'm not. I had it this morning. I used it to transfer some photos for the marketing presentation. Maybe I left it in the conference room?
Sarah, the meeting is in 15 minutes now. We really need to figure this out.
I know. Let me think. Actually, I can just save it to your USB if you have one.
Smart. Yes, I have one here in my drawer. Come over and we'll transfer it directly.
Perfect. Be right there. Oh, before I forget, did anyone tell you about the air conditioning situation?
The air conditioning? What happened to it?
It broke down this morning. Maintenance said they'd fix it by noon, but it's already past 2, and the office feels like an oven.
I noticed it was warm, but I thought it was just me. That explains why everyone looks miserable today.
Exactly. And to make matters worse, the catering company called about tomorrow's client lunch. They mixed up our order with another company's.
You've got to be joking. Did you sort it out?
I'm trying to. They promised to send me a new quote by end of day, but I'm not holding my breath. This company has let us down before.
Maybe we should consider switching to a different catering service. I know a reliable one that my previous company used.
That would be great. Can you send me their contact information later? Right now, I need to focus on getting this report to Mr. Harrison.
Of course. Here, use my USB. Just plug it in and copy the file.
Thanks so much. You're a lifesaver. Okay, it's transferring now. Shouldn't take long.
While we wait, did you finish reviewing the budget spreadsheet? Mr. Harrison mentioned it this morning.
The budget spreadsheet? He asked me about it? When?
Around 9:30. He stopped by your desk, but you were on the phone. He told me to remind you.
Oh, great. Another thing I forgot. Is it urgent?
He wants to discuss it after the investor meeting, so you have a bit more time at least.
That's something, I guess. All right, the file's done copying. I'll print this quickly and take it to his office.
Good luck. And Sarah, try to breathe. You're doing fine, considering how crazy today has been.
Thanks, Tom. I really appreciate your help. Honestly, I don't know what I'd do without you on days like this.
That's what colleagues are for. Now go. You still have a few minutes to spare.
Right. Wish me luck.
You've got this.
Oh, wow, poor Sarah. That was intense.
Right. I think we've all had days like that, when everything just piles up one after another.
Absolutely. But let's talk about what we can learn from this conversation. First off, did you notice something specific about the pronouns they used?
Good question. So, object pronouns appeared quite naturally throughout the dialogue. Things like, I sent it to you, or can you send me their information?
Exactly. We use object pronouns like me, you, him, her, it, us, and them when the pronoun receives the action. They come after verbs or prepositions.
So, for example, Sarah said, I did send it to you instead of saying, I did send the report to you. The word it replaces the report because they both already know what they're talking about.
Right. And Tom said, I'll remind you instead of, I'll remind Sarah. These pronouns make conversations flow more naturally and help us avoid repetition.
One common mistake learners make is using subject pronouns instead of object pronouns, like saying, send I the file instead of send me the file.
Good point. Remember, after a verb or preposition, we need the object form. Now, let's look at some phrasal verbs that came up.
Yes, there were several useful ones. First, showing up. Sarah said the report wasn't showing up on the shared drive.
When something isn't showing up, it means it's not appearing or it's not visible. You can use this for files, people, or even symptoms, like, the photos aren't showing up on my phone, or he didn't show up to the meeting.
Another one was call in sick. Jessica called in sick, meaning she phoned the office to inform them she was ill and couldn't come to work.
This is super common in workplace English. You call in sick when you notify your employer that you're too unwell to work. It's different from just being sick because it includes that communication aspect.
And finally, switch to. Tom suggested they should consider switching to a different catering service.
To switch to something means to change from one thing to another. You can switch to a new phone company, switch to a healthier diet, or switch to a different route when there's traffic.
These phrasal verbs are really practical. You'll hear them all the time in everyday English, not just at work.
Definitely. All right, ready for our next conversation?
Before we jump in, let's talk about something important. This next dialogue will feature two future tenses that often confuse learners: the future perfect and the future continuous.
These sound complicated, but they're actually quite useful once you understand them. Let's break them down quickly.
So, the future continuous is used when we talk about actions that will be in progress at a specific time in the future. We form it with will be plus the verb with ing.
For example, at this time tomorrow, I'll be flying to Paris. The action of flying will be happening at that specific moment in the future.
Exactly. Now, the future perfect is different. We use it to talk about actions that will be completed before a specific point in the future. The structure is will have plus the past participle.
Like, by next month, I will have finished my project. The project will be complete before next month arrives.
The key difference is that future continuous focuses on the action being in progress, while future perfect focuses on the action being completed.
Right. And in this conversation, you'll hear both used naturally. Pay attention to how the speakers use them to talk about their plans and what they expect to accomplish.
Listen carefully and see if you can spot them. Here we go.
Hey, Ben, do you have a minute? I need to go over the timeline for the anniversary event.
Sure. I was actually going to look for you. We've got exactly 6 weeks until the big day, right?
Yes, 6 weeks from today. So by the end of next week, we'll have finalized the guest list. That's our first major deadline.
Good. And what about the venue? Have you confirmed it yet?
I'm meeting with the manager tomorrow afternoon. By this time tomorrow, I'll be discussing the layout and catering options with him.
Perfect. Make sure to ask about the sound system. Last year's event had terrible audio issues.
Already on my list. Speaking of which, have you contacted the tech company about the presentation equipment?
Yes, I called them yesterday. They'll be setting everything up the day before the event. So on the 14th, they'll be installing the projectors and screens all morning.
That's cutting it close. What if something goes wrong?
Don't worry, they promised to test everything thoroughly. By the evening of the 14th, we'll have confirmed that all the equipment works properly.
Okay, that's reassuring. Now, what about the entertainment? Have you reached out to that band you mentioned?
I have. They're available and really interested. I'm sending them the contract today. By Friday, they'll have reviewed it and hopefully signed.
Excellent. We need to lock that down soon. Oh, and the photographer? Did you book anyone?
Not yet, but I've shortlisted 3 candidates. I'll be interviewing them next Tuesday. By Wednesday evening, I'll have made a decision.
Great. Make sure whoever you choose understands we need both candid shots and formal group photos.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about the invitations. When are those going out?
The designer is finishing them this week. By Monday, we'll have received the final proof. Then we'll send them out immediately.
And the RSVPs, when's the deadline for those?
2 weeks before the event. So by the 1st of next month, we'll have collected most of the responses. That'll give us an accurate head count for catering.
Smart. What about the program? Who's organizing the speeches and presentations?
I'm working on that with Maria from Communications. By next Thursday, we'll have drafted the entire program. We need to know who's speaking and for how long.
Has anyone confirmed with the CEO yet? He needs to give the opening speech.
His assistant confirmed yesterday. He'll be arriving at 6:30, half an hour before guests start coming in.
Perfect timing. And the award ceremony, that's part of the program too, right?
Yes, we'll be presenting awards to employees who've been with the company for 10, 15, and 20 years. I'm preparing the certificates this week.
How many people are we recognizing?
12 in total. By next week, I'll have finished all the certificates and ordered the gift packages.
Nice. What kind of gifts are we giving them?
Personalized plaques and premium gift cards. Nothing too fancy, but meaningful.
Sounds appropriate. Oh, I almost forgot. What about parking? The venue doesn't have much space.
I thought about that. I'm arranging valet service. On the night of the event, attendants will be parking cars for our guests.
That's a nice touch. Very professional.
Thanks. I want everything to run smoothly. Oh, and one more thing. The decorations. By the end of this week, the event company will have sent us samples of their work.
Good. We should review those together. When are you free?
How about Friday afternoon? By then, I'll have reviewed my notes and we can make decisions quickly.
Friday works for me. I'll be finishing the budget report in the morning, so afternoon is perfect.
Excellent. I think we're actually ahead of schedule. By the time the event happens, we'll have covered every detail.
I hope so. This is a big deal for the company. 50 years in business deserves a memorable celebration.
Absolutely. And with all this planning, it will be. We'll be celebrating in style.
That was a lot of planning. Ben and Lisa really have their work cut out for them.
They do. But did you catch how they were talking about the future? They used both tenses we mentioned earlier quite naturally.
Exactly. Notice how Lisa said, "By this time tomorrow, I'll be discussing the layout with him." She used future continuous because the meeting will be happening at that specific time.
And Ben said by Friday they'll have reviewed the contract. That's future perfect because the action of reviewing will be completed before Friday arrives.
The key is understanding what you want to emphasize. Are you focusing on an action in progress at a future moment? Use future continuous. Or are you focusing on completion before a deadline? That's future perfect.
Right. A common mistake is mixing these up. For example, saying, by next week, I'll be finishing the report, when you mean the report will be done. The correct way is, by next week, I'll have finished the report.
Good catch. Another error is forgetting the time reference. You need words like by the time, or specific times to make these tenses work properly.
Exactly. You can't just say, I will have finished without mentioning when. You need I will have finished by Friday or by the time you arrive.
These tenses are super helpful when you're coordinating plans, setting deadlines, or talking about schedules. Very practical for work situations like we just heard.
Absolutely. All right, ready to move on?
Yes. For our final conversation today, we're going to hear two friends making a big decision together.
And this one focuses on something really important for expressing complex ideas. Contrast clauses.
These are words and phrases that help you show differences or unexpected results. Things like although, even though, despite, and whereas.
They're incredibly useful when you're comparing options or presenting two sides of an argument. You'll hear them constantly in discussions and debates.
The key thing to remember is that some of these are followed by a clause with a subject and verb, like although it's expensive, while others are followed by a noun or gerund, like despite the cost.
Right. Although and even though need a full clause, but despite and in spite of need a noun or an ing form.
In this conversation, Jan and Steve are comparing two job offers. Listen to how they use these contrast words naturally as they weigh their options.
Pay attention, because this is the kind of vocabulary that really elevates your English. Let's listen.
So, Steve, have you made up your mind yet? Both offers seem pretty good to me.
I know, that's exactly the problem. Although the marketing position pays more, I'm not sure it's the right fit for me.
What's holding you back? The salary difference is significant.
True, but the tech company offer is more aligned with my long-term goals. Even though the starting salary is lower, there's more room for growth.
That's a fair point. What about the work environment? Have you considered that?
I have. The marketing firm has a great office downtown, whereas the tech company is mostly remote work.
And how do you feel about that? I know you like being around people.
That's the thing. Despite preferring face-to-face interaction, I've realized remote work gives me more flexibility with my schedule.
Flexibility is important. What about the actual job responsibilities?
Well, the marketing role involves a lot of client meetings and presentations. While I'm comfortable with that, it's not really my passion.
And the tech company position, what would you be doing there?
Mostly product development and strategy. It's more analytical, which I enjoy. Although it requires learning new software, I'm excited about that challenge.
Learning new things keeps work interesting. What did they say about training?
The tech company offers comprehensive training programs. In spite of being a smaller company, they invest heavily in employee development.
That's impressive. And the marketing firm, do they offer similar support?
Not really. Even though they're a bigger company with more resources, their training is quite basic.
Interesting. What about benefits? Health insurance, vacation time, that sort of thing.
The marketing firm has standard benefits, whereas the tech company offers some unique perks, like unlimited vacation and stock options.
Unlimited vacation? That's pretty rare.
I know. Although it sounds too good to be true, several employees confirmed they actually use it without problems.
What about job security? That's worth considering too.
The marketing firm is well established, so there's definitely stability there. Despite the tech company being newer, they've been growing steadily and have strong funding.
Have you thought about the commute? That downtown office must be at least an hour from your place.
Yeah, that's another factor. Even though the marketing job pays more, I'd be spending a lot on transportation and time commuting.
Time is money, as they say. Working remotely would save you, 2 hours a day?
At least. And despite missing the social aspect, I could use that time for professional development or personal projects.
What does your gut tell you? Sometimes that matters more than logical analysis.
Honestly, my gut says tech company. Although the marketing position looks better on paper, the tech role feels right for where I want to be in 5 years.
That's important. Where do you see yourself long term?
I want to move into leadership in the tech industry. While the marketing experience would be valuable, it doesn't directly support that goal.
Makes sense. And the people? Did you connect with either team better?
The tech team felt like my kind of people. In spite of the interviews being virtual, I felt a genuine connection with them.
That's a good sign. You'll be spending a lot of time with these people.
Exactly. Whereas the marketing team seemed nice, they felt more corporate and formal.
So it sounds like you're leaning toward the tech company despite the lower starting salary.
I think I am. Although it's scary turning down more money, I believe it's the better choice for my career.
Well, you've clearly thought this through. Trust yourself.
That was a tough decision. I hope Steve feels good about whichever offer he chooses.
Me too. But let's talk about those contrast clauses we heard throughout the conversation. They really helped Steve express his conflicting thoughts.
Exactly. He used although and even though when he wanted to acknowledge one thing but emphasize another. Like when he said, Although the marketing position pays more, I'm not sure it's the right fit.
Right. These words introduce a contrast between two clauses. Now, despite and in spite of work differently. They're followed by nouns or gerunds, not full clauses.
Steve said, despite preferring face-to-face interaction, not despite I prefer. That's a common mistake learners make.
Good point. And whereas and while are great for direct comparisons. He used whereas to compare the two companies. The marketing firm has a great office downtown, whereas the tech company is mostly remote.
These words make your English sound more sophisticated and help you express complex ideas clearly. They're essential for discussions, essays, or any time you're weighing options.
Absolutely. Practice using them in your own conversations and writing. They'll really improve how you communicate contrasting ideas.
Well, that wraps up today's episode. We covered a lot, didn't we?
We definitely did. From chaotic office days to planning events and making big decisions.
And along the way, you picked up object pronouns, phrasal verbs, future tenses, and contrast clauses. Not bad for one episode.
If you found this helpful, please give us a like and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes.
And feel free to listen to this one again. Repetition really helps these patterns stick.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Keep practicing, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Take care, everyone.
Bye for now.